But we've got a different number 2 for you now. I'm going to hand over to my friend Steve, who's going to interview Joel Ward, who's the captain at Crystal Palace Football Club, and his squad number is number 2.
Thank you, Sammy. Good afternoon, evening, everyone. How are you doing? We'll try that again. How are you doing? Warm enough? Great to see you. Please put your hands together and welcome on the stage Joel Ward. You can say Wardy if you're a Palace fan. Hi, Joel. Good to see you again, mate. So, are there any Crystal Palace fans here tonight? There are. Well, if we'd have done it in Croydon, maybe, Joel, we might have got a little bit more than what we've got tonight. But Joel, it's brilliant to have you here. Thank you for coming down. So Joel, you've for those of us who are into football, I am. You've had an amazing career in terms of Palace and playing for a certain Hampshire club before that. Did you think growing up that you would have the years that you've had playing in probably what is regarded to most people as the best league in the world?
If I'm honest, probably not. But I think from a very young age, I was always taught to strive for excellence, and whatever I'd done, do it to my best of my ability, and to give everything. So, that's the way in which I've kind of, tackled my career head on, and just tried to be as honest I can in whatever I do, and to give 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably I didn't kind of dream those dreams, but I certainly dreamt of being a footballer.
When did it start to become a bit of a reality where you thought, do you know what, I might make it to the top level of certainly English football and European football probably?
Well, the thing is there's so many players that kind of come into the leagues or start to play and then filter out of the leagues by the early 20s, mid 20s, or something like that. So for me, it was a case of making sure that I was just consistent throughout wherever I'd done, and whatever level it was always about maintaining that consistency. And, I think I haven't made it until I finish. Someone, Stuart Gray, who was a coach of mine, once said, you haven't made it until you've made over 500 games and you've retired and hung the boots up. That's when you can look back and say I made it. Because these careers are so short and they can be short-lived as well. So, but for me, I just take it day by day, and obviously just like I said, give everything I've got.
Now, last Wednesday was a pretty special moment for you, where you became the most capped Crystal Palace player in the Premier League. Was that, obviously you saw it coming?
Thank you.
It's more than I got. You saw it coming, Joel, but obviously that was a special moment. Is it Zaha's number 2?
Yes.
And you became the most, capped, but the most performances for Crystal Palace. It's an amazing achievement.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, probably beyond my wildest dreams and imagination, really. But I think, it's a pinch me moment.
Yeah.
To have done that. No. You hurt yourself. But yeah, it's one of those things. I think I probably look back on it in years to come and realise the enormity of what was achieved in my time. But for me right now, it's all about the next. It's all about kind of keeping my focus, on the next thing, the next game, what is in the future.
And obviously you're club captain, so there's an added responsibility now. Not that you're carrying the team, but you're not just a senior player, but you're club captain, and players are obviously looking to you and how you behave and handle yourself on the pitch as well.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I'm not squeaky clean, but I'm close to it.
Yeah, I did watch match of the day, so I do know that.
But yeah, I think obviously there has been a newfound kind of responsibility in some ways, but I think as well, obviously being a more experienced player now, your role does change to kind of trying to help the next generation, trying to be a role model, not always ranting and raving and saying what you need to do and do this and do that, but actually leading by example. And I think for me, one of my biggest attributes is by just getting my head down and just working hard and putting things right and controlling the the things I can control.
Sure.
And that's how I apply myself and my application to my day-to-day training.
What about other players, Joel? Because you know, you've obviously played against, playing, Man United, City, Liverpool, big teams. You're playing against a lot of superstar strikers. You're a defender. Who are the players over the years that stick in your mind that you've come up against? Is it the people that we would all probably think about who are fans, or would they be other people that were maybe not seen as superstars that you have really rated as competitors?
Listen, I think obviously having the period of time in the Premier League, I've come across, obviously, like you say, the world-class players and names that roll off the tongue. And I've been fortunate enough to do that. And I think going into football and playing and obviously reaching that level and being a part of the Premier League, you kind of relish those challenges coming up against the top players.
Give us a couple of names that stick in your mind.
Watch your toes. I mean, obviously, the likes of Aguero, kind of what he achieved in the Premier League, the likes of Haaland, De Bruyne, obviously Salah and those kind of guys. But even players, for me, one of probably the best players I think I came up against who asked you questions in a different way was someone like David Silva. It goes under the radar in many respects, but what he done and how he played the game was incredible. So, I mean, obviously the thing is as well is anyone can give you a hard day, and I've had that many a times. But it's about how you obviously overcome those periods. You overcome that time, and like I said, obviously maintaining that consistency and relishing the challenge, and just actually taking it head on and enjoying it and embracing it, and is just incredible.
That's good stuff, Joel. So a couple more questions. Now, as well as being a footballer, you're a Christian as well. Part of what we're doing here, obviously celebrating Christmas, but there's a message behind it as well. I think when you think of football, those of us who watch big tournaments like World Cups, FA Cup finals, this kind of thing, players taking their shirts off to reveal not so subtle messages on their vests saying Jesus is Lord or God be the glory or something similar. Now, you pray in the semicircle, in the centre,
on the pitch.
Centre circle.
I go that one. It's on the pitch.
Bit of brain fog there. 60 next year. Don't look it. Now, when you do that, Joel, what's going through your mind? Because I think we watch people like, Neymar, someone who comes to mind for me, and you kind of go, I don't know where he's really at. Is that just a religious upbringing? What about for you, Joel? Is that personal? Is there something more to that than just a sort of a religious kind of nod to a belief?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, I say, regardless if it's a religious nod or if someone's had that relationship personally or from afar, ultimately bringing light and glorifying his name is the key thing. For me, to have that moment of peace, just to be honest and just ask God to be glorified in whatever happens in this game is key for me, and to have that moment of stillness to actually just thank him for the opportunity and to be on that stage where hopefully I can glorify his name. Not that he needs it, not that he needs me, but just to know that who I'm representing is him, and ultimately number one, I'm doing it for him. Obviously it's incredible to have my family and my kids and everyone there, but ultimately I am in the position I am because of him. So,
well done, mate.
So for me,
Brilliant.
it's just hopefully I can be a witness to God and just to shine that light, and through my actions and through the way in which I hold myself, hopefully I can do that most of the time.
Great stuff, mate. Christmas, what's it mean to you? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, I love it. Obviously,
I don't know what it means. But
it's certainly taken a different dynamic now with obviously having kids of my own. And obviously for us, it's kind of the busiest period in the football calendar. But to be able to obviously to do what I do is a real blessing. But for me, at this period of time, for Christmas, obviously friends and family being together.
and a kale
sharing a
smoothie
cheer.
before the Boxing Day game or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No alcohol.
A few
nothing
pigs
like
and
that.
blankets
Yeah.
and everything like that. No, I try to be as good as I can, but no, I think it's just incredible to see everyone coming together at this time of year, and just the generosity throughout. Every single person.
Yeah.
And obviously Christmas, for me, other than obviously the obvious of Christ and everything like that, is just about coming together, being with the family, being with friends, and just remembering really what it's all for.
Brilliant, mate. One more question, which I can't remember. Yeah, so as we said at the beginning, Joel, you've had a long career, very successful career. Do you think about the future? You're not done yet, I know that. I mean, you look amazing for 54. Got to say that. But, was it Billy Wright, 50 years old? What do you want to do beyond that? Do you give it much thought, or is it a little bit depressing because you know that is the beginning of, it's a new part of your life, but at the end of your playing career? How do you see that over the next few years?
I guess there's always going to be mixed emotions. I'm leaving, or when the day comes, I'll be leaving behind something that has been a dream of mine to do, and obviously has been a huge part of my life. But ultimately, as well, it's an adventure, and it's exciting to step into the next challenge and the next adventure that we go on. Right now, it doesn't bear too much or take up too much of my concentration. I think for me, on a personal level, I've got to give everything I can to the here and now, and that's just the way in which my career has panned out. But ultimately, I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But I know, with the love and support of everyone that's been close to me and my support network, we're certainly cross that bridge when it comes, and then there'll be avenues that I'll be able to go down, and hopefully in kind of building a platform that I have done in the football community, hopefully there'll be opportunities to do more events and talks, and obviously just spread the message of God as well.
Great stuff, mate. Great to see you again, mate. Thanks for
you.
coming tonight.
I'd like to say, everyone, thank you for coming out. Obviously, I know it's cold, but really appreciate you taking the time to come out and support this as well. So really, thank you.
Amazing. God bless you. Thanks, mate.